Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the No Stipulation podcast, the podcast where we talk about one of our favorite things, that being wrestling. I am Brendan Smith, joined alongside Logan Loving,
Heyo.
and we are on, I believe, the start of the European tour. Is that correct?
Raw was in MSG, and then Smackdown was in somewhere in Europe, right?
Yes.
Brussels, or was that was Raw?
Brussels was Raw.
Yeah, Brussels was Raw. Smackdown, where was it? Was one of them big European countries. This was 314. It was in hello, where? Tell me. Internet, you're not being helpful, like, at all. We definitely need to start preparing for this stuff better.
Yeah,
Barca.
it's all good.
Barcelona.
I can cut this.
That's right. Barcelona.
Barcelona. Okay, cool.
Barca.
But we start the show off with LA Knight in the ring in front of this raucous crowd in Barcelona.
Woo.
Jimmy Uso interrupts LA and says that his road to WrestleMania is running short, and the only way he makes it on the show is to challenge LA for the United States title.
No, you said the United States Tag Team title. They cut that out of the live they cut that out of the broadcast that they ran at 7.
Another thing that they cut off during the show is whenever Solo interrupted Jimmy. He was about to say the F word, but he caught himself.
He literally went, "You and your oh."
Ooh. That's what he did.
He literally went like, "Oh." I love that. You know, for all the grief I've talked with about the Bloodline, I love the character work they do. It's hilarious.
Honestly, Solo has gotten so much better.
Yeah, it's not even as much better as it is. He seems more real, and we don't have to agree on this, but I still am of the belief that you could get a Samoa Joe type of guy out of him if you wanted that.
I would agree.
Street Fighter.
Solo interrupts and says the only person deserving of this title shot is Jacob, and he kind of fakes us out a little bit because he has his finger pointed at himself first, and then he points to Jacob. As he says that.
Brother!
Solo calls Jimmy an overall failure to the family,
as they both messed up their promo.
Exactly. And Jimmy says that Solo is in fact a failure of the family after he lost the Ulafala to Roman Reigns.
And to this day, I still think he should have won, because Roman's more interesting when he's not given everything he wants, but that's a story for another day.
Yes. That starts a brawl, and after Tama jumps Jimmy, Braun Strowman runs down to the ring to even the odds, and a match is made by Nick Aldis for that moment.
I love it.
And it is Jimmy and LA and Braun versus the... What would you call them? Are they still called the New Bloodline?
I think
that dropped?
I think they're just the Bloodline now, because let's be honest, Roman, even Jimmy's not wearing the Bloodline gear. They're just kind of there and happen to be related. Roman's the only one of the original group that still does Bloodline stuff.
That is true.
Jay's been disassociated with them, and then Jimmy is actually doing his own thing, which I like his gear. It's simple, and well, I don't even know if it's simple, but I like it.
I like his gear, too. The
Yeah.
good guys, they would overall get the win, but Jacob beat the hell out of Braun Strowman, sending him through the barricade.
And we're getting that match this Friday, I think that's happening?
Yes, that is coming this Friday.
Is Braun going to get his get back, or is Jacob just going to kill him this time?
That's a tough one. How's the match history going?
Jacob murdered him at Saturday night's main event.
Yeah,
and
Braun wins via DQ, then Jacob won, and then I think this is the blow-off?
Did they have another one-on-one match?
No, I think that's just the two that they had.
No,
I mean, had some tag matches.
When was the second one?
Because
he didn't come back until the Royal Rumble.
I know that they had a Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, that was when Jacob killed him, and he got Jacob.
Then they had a rematch. I'm not sure when they had it, but I know that they had it.
I don't know if they did, because they definitely had they had the tag matches, and it was the triple threat with Braun, Jacob, and Damian.
Yes.
But I don't know if they've had another one-on-one match since then. I think this is actually just number 2.
I'm not sure, but nevertheless.
Yeah, either way. Braun is technically up in the series. But, yeah, after that, Jade Cargill, actually, they have an interview with her. And Liv and Raquel interrupt in the middle of it. And Liv wants her apology because, honestly, she kind of deserves one after everything that happened to her that wasn't her fault.
Honestly, she deserves an apology.
Right, like, I saw someone on Twitter, it was probably one of these stans, and it was like, are we really supposed to believe Jade is the face in this story? And I'm like, no! Neither of them are the good guys. Jade got jumped, and Liv got jumped because they thought she jumped Jade for a good reason, because she literally beat Rhea half to death before that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, she's not completely innocent. Let's not pretend that Liv Morgan is just this precious little princess. But, yeah, I mean, we're getting that match in Bologna?
Yeah.
In Italy.
Bologna, Italy.
Bologna. My favorite lunch meat. I'm kidding.
Personally, for me, I'm more of a ham and turkey type of person.
I'm a ham guy for sure. But yeah, I love that they're kind of just leaning into the Jersey trash aspect of Liv, because she's not Jersey trash, but her character is. If that makes any sense. No sell what? What are we talking about? Brendan? Hello?
Sounds like your Discord audio is breaking up.
Oh, I hear you now. What was I no selling?
You it sounded like you were getting my joke and you just decided not to say anything because of how unfunny it was.
Oh, I didn't hear the joke.
Oh, I said I'm more of a ham and turkey guy. And I thought you heard that and just decided to stay silent.
Okay. I said I like ham more too. And then I said Liv was Jersey trash.
Oh.
Did you not hear that part?
No, I didn't hear that. Forgive us, folks. We overall, what we usually do is we record this on OBS and we have both of our voices in the program, but last week, I'm not sure if you heard, Logan's audio wasn't very good. So what we're doing is we're recording a separate audio file, and we're going to overlay that in editing. So I've muted desktop audio in Discord, but overall, Discord, not very good. Sometimes it decides, I'm going to mute your audio.
Yeah. You want to say my audio hasn't been good last week. It hasn't been good ever. It's just rough.
It must have been good at least 1 week.
I don't think it was, man. I don't think it was. But either way, next up, I know we usually do this structure back and forth, but let me do this. We got B-Fab Graps. B-Fab Graps. She comes down to the ring, she's talking fluent Spanish, and I saw a tweet that said B-Fab was going to join Alexa Bliss as the most successful woman of an all-men's faction. And, I mean, that kind of got nixed in this episode alone. But, I don't know what it is. I just don't care that Charlotte won. You know? I was expecting it. I don't care. I wanted to see B-Fab wrestle. I got that. She did good. I love seeing her improve. Charlotte hits the figure 8. Natural selection, yada yada, gets the bridge, B-Fab taps out. But then, what Charlotte's been doing all road to WrestleMania, Tiffany comes out and she gets her get back.
I told you, she needed it.
Absolutely batshit insane fight. Tiffany took, before and after commercial, Tiffany hit 2 swantons onto, like, Charlotte and the security guards, but she missed Charlotte both times. And that was...
Charlotte's protecting herself, as usual.
I don't even think that. I think it's just hard to judge where you're going to land on those things.
No, this was Charlotte's doing. Hey, you can do the swanton, but don't hit me, brother.
Oh, you got me, sister.
Oh, sister, you got me.
Oh my god. Did you see the video of Taker and Kane reliving their Mania match? And Taker said that.
Oh my god, yes.
Even,
Everybody hates Hogan.
you know, for all the politics, you can really tell, based on the reception of Undertaker and Hogan, that it's not politics that have these guys boo Hogan. He just sucks, like, in general.
He's just a terrible person.
I can't wait until the day we don't have to see those stupid beer commercials anymore.
Same here. They should have chosen Steve Austin's IPA. I don't know what the hell they're thinking.
I don't think Steve wanted to be on the show.
You had Steve Austin right there, the star that's known for drinking beer. If you want WWE official beer, you think of Steve Austin, not fucking Hulk Hogan.
That's a whole nother plot line. Let's move on.
I'm sorry. I paused for a second. Excuse me.
I thought I thought the audio was cutting out. I was waiting for it to come back in.
No, you're good. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But once we come back from commercial, we see a package by Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, and yeah, we had the Tiffy and Charlotte thing happen during Miz TV.
Yeah, this was the second Swanton bomb off. She hit this one off the stands, actually.
Yeah, it was like off of like the Minitron out on the entranceway.
Yeah, that's exactly where it was. It was kind of like the one, I think it was, I can't remember if it was Ospreay, but I think it was him. Hit one off of like way up there. That was cool as hell.
But Miz, overall, cutting for time, he's quite excited that the brawl happened during Miz TV. He's like, yeah, this is exactly how the start of Miz TV should be. He welcomes Cody Rhodes, he does his whole semantics, and he cuts out the crowd and tells them to cut the music whenever they're about to do the second woe, because this isn't sing-along with Cody.
And then Cody just does not take that at all.
He crossroads Miz, and he grabs the microphone, places the belt on the mat, and says, Cena, I'm the captain now, and if you want some, come get some.
I love it.
And then he leaves.
Yeah, it's... It's so. I'm actually looking at a website that says he didn't hit him with the crossroads. It says he hit him with a drop down uppercut. Or no,
really?
Yeah, he did. Well, he did hit the drop down uppercut first, and then he hit him with the crossroads. Yeah, you know where he drops to his back and just punches up.
Oh yeah, I remember that he did that. Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm reading some of these things. After that. Well, yeah, Cody said he didn't want to talk to Miz. He didn't want to talk to anybody unless it's John Cena. So, be there Monday. We go backstage. Nick Aldis was giving Shinsuke a lambasting for the red mist to Chuck's eyes last week. And Shinsuke says poor Chuck. He does his best. I was watching the WWE releasing their like top 50 Mania matches of all time. Had Edge versus Undertaker at Mania. And Chuck's famous run down to the ring.
I hadn't watched that match yet in full. I'm gonna at some point.
Follow us, Chucky. We love you so much.
There's a couple people we want us to follow. We're gonna have to create a top 10 list, and we might release that as a separate video. What do you think?
That's definitely an option, but who knows? That seems kind of pandering, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm still editing that other video that we're gonna release.
Which one?
That is the debate.
There's two of them. There's two of them we have in the wings
that
waiting for us.
That first one, honestly, I'm not sure if that will get done. That might have to get dropped. I'm sorry.
It was ridiculous. It took too long, and we'll see. We'll see what happens with that one. But yeah, Shinsuke wants his rematch. Nick says, you're lucky you're not suspended. Damian shows up, wants to know where Drew is. Nick said Drew left the building. Damian can take that however he wants. Damian says, not only is Drew a jackass, but he's a smart jackass. Shinsuke says some shit to Damian in Japanese. Damian challenges Shinsuke to a match in Spanish, and that's what's next.
Yes, and Drew attacks Damien during and after the match, and you have to think that they're setting up a match between these two at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and you know what? Initially, when I saw this was the plan, I was a little, not angry, but kind of like butthurt, because I feel like Drew deserves better than that. But also, you got to remember, this is a match that we haven't seen. I don't think they've had a one-on-one match since, what was it, Clash at the Castle?
Yeah, Clash at the Castle.
Where he got screwed. And Damien was the one who took the title off of Drew with the cash-in. So there's a story to be made out of this. And I do think both guys are very talented wrestlers. I just think a lot of people who are disappointed wanted Drew to be in the world title picture.
Yeah, and I understand that, but there is overall history for this. It's not like this is being thrown together at random.
Like Logan Paul and AJ Styles.
Yeah, that one doesn't really make any sense.
Who said that?
I think they're going to set something up after that feud for AJ.
Man, I don't care. Damien won that match off of DQ. Kathy was backstage with DIY. Ciampa says they're the reason why SmackDown has the best division in wrestling, the tag division. Street Profits are a second place team. Says, we want the smoke, more like they choke. And, you know, with the whole BT, what was it? BITW DIY. So
yeah,
we can't get that right.
Like that.
It's stupid. They asked how to say a moment of silence in Spanish. MCMG shows up. Alex Shelley says, forget the dumbass moment of silence. Joke's on DIY. Then, Kathy had another backstage interview with Chelsea and her new secret Hervis.
I'm saluting.
I am too. Chelsea says she did what any great leader would do, brought out her secret weapon in Alba. The Green administration is in full force. And, of course, Zelina doing what she's done for the past month and showing up backstage. And Piper says that Zelina's going to have to get through her if she wants to face Chelsea. And then, Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah. After the match between Randy and Carmelo, the match would end after an RKO out of nowhere, and after the match, Randy extends his hand to Melo, but Hayes pushes the Viper, and he pisses Randy off, and Randy hits a second RKO, and he lines up for the punt kick.
He was going to that place.
Yeah, none other than KO pulls Melo out of the ring and escapes into the crowd.
Oh, brother. Is this? I feel like this has happened so many times in WWE feuds where one guy shows up, does nothing, leaves, the other guy carries it.
Yeah, it's a very what is it called? Lame duck way to advance the storyline.
But I mean, I also kind of get it with Kevin specifically because he did go through hell like 3 weeks ago. So logically, him being way out of it still, showing up to be a chicken shit heel, I get it.
Yeah.
That RKO that Orton hit, that was genuinely out of nowhere. Like, that was a vintage out of nowhere RKO.
Yeah, of course Melo does his best to sell it as well.
I want better for Melo. I want better for a lot of people in this company.
Hopefully after Mania.
Yeah.
Melo.
I think he's going to... I'm hoping to God that he's going to be in the world title picture. Not the world title picture, the U.S. title picture by SummerSlam. I will say this, that I'm not ungrateful that he's getting weekly TV time. That's something that a lot of people don't get. Some people are stuck in catering. Melo's getting matches like every week.
Yeah, even Andrade's kind of struggling to get weekly TV. He gets backstage vignettes. Well, not vignettes, but backstage segments.
Yeah.
But he hasn't had a match in quite some time.
It's crazy. I don't think his last match was the qualifier with LA Knight.
Yeah.
Or it was a qualifier. Was it against Fatu? He lost. I remember that.
Might have been, but speaking of Jacob Fatu, he calls out Braun for next week on SmackDown, so it seems like in Bologna, we are going to get Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu.
In the lunch meat capital of the world, we're getting meat on meat on meat on meat.
And this is where Bronson makes his return.
Oh, dude, I would love that, but I don't think he's coming back till after Mania.
Yeah.
If
I miss Bronson. I
dude,
miss Bronson so much.
if Bronson Reed came back and like that was the Mania match, that triple threat, oh my god. Oh,
Triple meat sandwich, baby.
that is a triple, quadruple, quintuple decker of meat. I need that. I need to see that match happen in real life. I want that. Because Braun and Bronson tore the house down when they had their last man standing match. Or it was last monster standing. That's what it was. And Bronson's ankle just couldn't deal with a tsunami off the top of the cage. That was crazy, dude. If Roman had taken that, I genuinely think he might have died. That's like
Might have.
that's like 300. What is he? 380?
He's a big dude.
How much does Bronson Reed weigh? 330. Excuse me. Braun Strowman's 380. Yeah, 330 pounds landing on you from 20 feet up. I think you would have to give me like quintuple pay to take that move. We love you, Bronson Reed. Follow us too.
Definitely on the top 10 list of people we wish would follow us.
But speaking of guys getting vignettes, we get what is maybe Rey Fenix. It sure looked like him.
Oh yeah, the Smoky 4 teaser?
No, that was the other one. This was the orange-looking one. I don't really know how to explain it, but a lot of people think
sure either.
A lot of people think it's Rey Fenix. Yeah, it was like a orange background, guy in a mask, in the ropes. Yeah. If we can get away with it, we'll try to put that in here, but we haven't been able to get away with it so far. Here, I will send you this. You can watch it while I talk about something else. There you
Alright,
go.
I will definitely watch that.
There you go. And after that, we get... we do get the Aleister Black vignette. At least that's what people believe with the Smoky 4.
Yes,
but then,
I think that's Aleister Black.
Yeah. And then we get Gunther cutting a promo. It says, the road to WrestleMania in Europe starts tonight here in Barcelona. And as the greatest European wrestler of all time, I just had to be there. Just one regret. I wish we were in Madrid instead. And of course, that's a soccer thing. So, you know how all that is. But he says, because all of you love Jey Uso, because he's wasting his time dancing around amongst you, waving his hands like an idiot, just to entertain you, once the bell rings, there's some substance to it. It doesn't mean a damn thing. So I heard there's a kid. They call him the best wrestler out of Spain. Well, the most promising talent in WWE right now. You all love him, but I'm going to prove right now that this doesn't mean a damn thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, your national hero, Axiom. This match is my biggest problem with this build to WrestleMania. They have Gunther putting on classics with Axiom, while they have Jay fighting A-Town Down Under. What are we doing here?
I really do wish that Jay could put on like a 5-star banger, but it seems like it's likely based on who he's in the ring with, and hopefully Gunther can carry him in that Mania match.
I think Jay... This last match was just really bad for him because of a few different reasons, but I do think the match is going to be all right. It's going to be...
I think it should be serviceable.
It's not going to be the worst match we've ever seen. But Axiom almost wins this damn thing, and I love it. We've talked about this a few times. I've said that I think both Axiom and Nathan Frazier can be excellent single stars, as well as the tag team champions that they already are. But Gunther won the match, of course. So, no worries.
Yes. We have Paul Heyman's segment up next.
Yeah.
And he kind of talks about the happenings of last week.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hype you on two things, and don't worry, much like the career prospects of a certain architect, a visionary, I'll keep this short and sweet. I know that's not what Paul Heyman sounds like, but it's funny.
It's like 80% of what he sounds like. But
He was talking about 2K25. He was pandering to the pockets of
he had to plug the game.
Yeah, because it's apparently Roman Reigns Day, because that was the day the game released. He talked...
This is like on my GM mode whenever you decide for your promo segment that it's going to be an advertising promo.
Oh my god. Yeah, Paul says Roman's not going to be in Barcelona. Yeah. He's going to be in Bologna, Italy. The crowd booed him, of course. Said, "Don't boo. All you have to do is buy a plane ticket on Cheapo Airlines and fly over to Bologna. Because next week, Roman will appear live on Smackdown. And that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler.
We love it. We love to see it.
Anytime Paul Heyman talks, I'm geeked.
And after that segment, we get the match card for next week's SmackDown. We talked about it a little bit. We saw Paul Heyman talk about the return of Roman Reigns. We will also get Jade Cargill versus Liv Morgan, Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven, and Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu.
I'd say which match is going to main event, but we all know it's going to be the segment.
You think the segment's going to main event?
It did Elimination Chamber.
I mean, with what happened on Raw, you don't think it opens the show?
Probably not. You know Roman Reigns. That man needs the main event like everyone else needs air. Doesn't matter what he's doing.
Agree to disagree.
Whatever. After that, we get the main event of the evening. We got a few segments before that, of course. Los Garzas and Santos wished the Profits good luck and said they're going to take the titles off DIY. You guys aren't the number one contenders. The Yes Boys are, you jackasses. Put the titles on the Yes Boys. I don't care who they come off of. Although the Street Profits should definitely walk out of Mania with the titles. I'm going to say that. The Profits say they have they got a one shot on the entrance, and they make one thing perfectly clear. They want the smoke. I love it.
Yes.
I wish I had your soundboard so I could press the one that's like, ah, yes, I love that.
Yes, I need to add that to the soundboard.
Yeah, that's awesome. But
hopefully, maybe you can clip that audio and send it to me.
I'll try to do that.
Nice.
Yeah. Then we get.
Before that title match, we see Gunther talking with Jimmy Uso backstage, and he tells Jimmy that obviously he's the more mature twin, and he wants to talk to him. And he says that, I'm sure you've seen me lay people out like wet towels over the last couple weeks, and I'm sure you don't want that to happen to your brother. So just go ahead and talk with him and get him to rethink challenging me at Mania.
That's funny.
Jimmy says Gunther has things backwards because at Mania, the ring general drops rank and drops the World Heavyweight Championship to main event Jey Uso. Yeet.
4 letters. 1 word. Yeet.
Yeet.
Yeet. Yeah. But then, he said something like, in Sin City, we're Yeet Noose. And Gunther's literally like rubbed the bridge of his nose and like a disappointed parent. He was like, Jesus, this guy again. I kind of love what they're doing with Gunther. He's like, he thinks he's above everyone else to the point where he is the parent just watching his children be stupid. And he's like, what are you guys doing? Watch me. Watch what I do. But then, baby, we get the main event. And the SmackDown's tag division is head and shoulders, knees, and toes ahead of Raw. It's no fault of Raw's, I guess, but SmackDown's tag division is just incredible. This match was awesome. There were plenty of moments where I thought that DIY was going to retain off some BS. They hit the Shatter Machine, and I thought that was going to be it, but then I can't remember if it was Dawkins or Ford, but somebody kicked out. One of the Street Profits kicked out. Get the hot tag. Ciampa actually stops the Doomsday Blockbuster that they went to hit. Ford hit a couple of super kicks. Then he dove to the outside of the crowd. Another Blockbuster that only got a 2 count. And he went for the slingshot. Ciampa got him with a knee. Dawkins kicked him off the apron. Gargano avoided the Swanton Bomb. Tagged in Ciampa. We got that knee strike. They go for the fairy tale ending and the super kick that they usually get. But, man, Ford kicked out of that too. That's another one I thought it was over. But then Gargano kicked Ciampa in the face. Dawkins hit him with a spine buster. Tagged in Montez. And from the heavens, Montez Ford gets the 3 count. And your new Smackdown WWE Tag Team Champions.
I loved the title change. I loved it.
Yeah, I honestly, in the not to bring up the Attitude Era again, but if this were the Attitude Era, a new team would have that title every week.
It seems like that's what they're doing in the lead up to Mania.
Honestly, yeah, if Pretty Deadly, Los Garzas, and MCMG all have the titles by Mania, I won't complain. I'll be happy. That's awesome.
Maybe not Los Garza, but I wouldn't be surprised.
It's one of the. They're going to be in the Mania ladder match, Brendan.
They will. I'm just not sure if they're gonna have the titles.
Well, I mean,
I'm not sure.
If Pretty Deadly has it and Los Garzas doesn't, I love Pretty Deadly, but come on.
You're right with that. You're right. They're too good in the ring.
They are. I feel like their presentation has always been more serious than Pretty Deadly's. I was shocked Pretty Deadly got the #1 contendership. I was thrilled.
Same here.
But I was shocked. I always thought they were going to be the comedy tweeners that never really go anywhere, but everybody loves. I don't know.
Yeah, they made big improvements.
Definitely. Their in-ring work has... even back to NXT, their in-ring work was good, but I feel like they just weren't allowed to take themselves seriously at the time as wrestlers. But since, DIY was kind of like, away with you, they put themselves back in a position to be like, okay, these guys can actually hoop.
Yes, and moving on to the next show, we have Raw from Brussels, Belgium, and we start the show off with John Cena, and he's getting monstrous boosts from the WWE faithful.
Is this where Brussels sprouts come from?
I'm assuming so.
Do Brussels sprouts come from Brussels? Yes. Believed to be widely cultivated in the 16th century. Your daily Brussels fact from the No Stipulations crew.
Yes, we love vegetables. Eat your veggies, kids.
Although John Cena won't tell you that.
Yes, he does several things different from his usual entrance. However, he still looks the same, something that will be addressed later by the 16-time champ. There's no smiling. He's not showing his hand towel. He's not running the ring, and probably his worst offense, he's not acknowledging Stu the cameraman at all.
How dare he not talk to Stu? That monster. I mean,
Man.
Yeah. The crowd was letting him hear it, and this is one of the great things about European crowds is they'll let you know what they're thinking. For like a full minute, we got the "Let's go Cena sucks" stuff. John went to put down the mic, went to leave, and he got booed even louder. Because if he didn't do that, they didn't do this, and who knows how long those chants would have gone on. So he picks it up, and then they cut him off again by the "You sold out" chants. And it's probably because I was listening to this at the gym when I was working out, because it was at 2 p.m. for us, which is crazy, but honestly, I kind of liked it.
I liked it a little bit. It felt good to be done with Raw by 5 o'clock.
Right, because I got back from the gym as the main event was about to start, and I just sat down, watched it, then went to take a shower, and I got to do whatever I wanted for the rest of the night.
I'll tell you this, I did almost miss the start of the show, because I thought it started at 3, but it instead started at 2.
3 Eastern, baby. You never know. But
although that will not be the same for Raw next week.
No, because that's gonna be at 3 p.m. John goes to say what he tweeted out. Says, when someone is properly grounded in life, they shouldn't have to look outside of themselves for approval. Crowd didn't care for that. And, you know, John is such a good actor. You know? Him and Batista are the best wrestlers turned actor. Love you, Dwayne, but no. You're not as good as Dave and John are at pure acting. Rock's definitely a better entertainer than they are, but Cena and Batista are the better really actors. But
yeah, I completely agree. The crowd then chants something that I couldn't make out with my ears, but it doesn't matter because Cena says to the crowd, "You were all making this so easy for me." He says, "For 25 years, I've been the victim. I've been the victim of an abusive relationship."
Wah, wah, wah. Well, you know, John, he's gonna get his get back. The crowd booed him, and he said, "Oh my God." He said, "All you've ever done is bully me into being your damn puppet and expecting me to do it with a smile on my face." He said, "No more classy, thank you." And this part I didn't like. He said, "I'm not a baby face. I'm not a heel." Why are we saying that on a live broadcast? I know kayfabe's dead, but let it have a little bit of magic.
Exactly.
He says, "I'm a human being. Each and every one of you has been awful to me." They booed him. He said, Go ahead. You've been awful. Same damn noise for 25 years. He says he won a lot. You hated it. It wasn't enough. What did I do? I gave everything I could, and it wasn't enough. And in my final moments, what's the only thing I can do, right? I can go away. What a great example. They were chanting for him to shut the fuck up. And he says, they go from chanting that to cheering when he says he's going to walk away. So last year he announced his retirement, and then he's actually going to walk away this year. And he tried one last time to do something nice for you guys, and you ruined it. Just like you've ruined everything. Because just like here tonight, for 2 seconds, and it's never been enough. Each of you idiots have been proving me right with every last breath. And he says, John Cena's coming to my town. What do we get? This is trending. What do we get? Not one of you son of a bitches has ever asked how I feel. No one. It's just, what do we get? What do we get? What do we get? You get nothing. You get what you've earned, and what you've earned is nothing. You don't get a new look because you dress like me. I don't dress like you idiots. You don't get new music because that's my voice on the song, and your time is finally up, and my time is finally now.
He continues insulting the fans and tells the WWE Universe that he is breaking up with them. Each and every single one of you. And then Cody's music hits. He makes his way to the ring, and he gets the loving support of the fans, which Cena visibly cannot stand.
He literally goes to Cody. Cody says, I think everyone was willing to hear you out, even myself, if I understood correctly from what they said, which was WWE Universe, when you said they've given you your worst. I said, sure they may have given you their worst, but they've also given you their best for 25 years. They did that because you were special. They did that because you could take that. They did that because you could carry them. John goes to say, listen, kid, and Cody says, enough! You're going to address me as champion. Ooh.
I love it so far. Cody wonders who is in front of him right now because he doesn't know who he's talking to. Where is this guy on this shirt? Even after what you did, I was excited at the prospect of going week to week, face to face with John Cena, and instead, I got this.
And he says, this better not show up at WrestleMania, because if it does, I run it over, I run it out, because I already took its best shot, and it wasn't enough. I retire it early. So go find John Cena, because I want to wrestle him at Mania, and not this whiny bitch.
One of the best segments of the year. I loved it. I can't believe we're getting more of it.
Dude, it's going to be so good. Even if they don't actually wrestle until Mania, like, neither of them has to put on their ring gear. It's going to be engaging enough. And that's the thing with these guys.
That is my favorite thing about wrestling, because all you have to do sometimes is just speak into a mic and you can bring people into the building.
Right. And this is kind of an observation, kind of not, but with Jay and Gunther, I feel like their story, the ring action takes away from from a decent story. With Cena and Cody, the in-ring action will amplify an excellent back and forth story here.
Exactly.
And that's not a dig on Gunther, but I mean that's not a dig on Jay or Gunther, but you know, when you've got guys as good as Cena and Cody on the other side of the Mania card, come on. It's the coughing baby versus the hydrogen bomb all over again. Do you know that one?
Yes, I know that one.
Oh my god. But then, I didn't know this was happening before the match. We're getting no holds barred between Kaiser and Penta. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was an excellent match. Yeah, this was genuinely an excellent match. Penta is such a good wrestler, and I almost worry what they're going to do with him when Phoenix gets here, because I want him to get a solo push. I want him to wear that IC title. I worry that Triple H is not going to be able to book successful singles and tag stars at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm hoping that they're in creative, they're putting their minds together on how to book stars in the future before they even get there.
Yeah, that's something I really want to happen. Being no holds barred, weapons came out, kendo stick, steel chair. Penta, I don't really know what to call this. I always think of it as a Van Daminator when he throws the chair and kicks him in the face. We got a Mexican destroyer off the middle rope onto a chair. Of course, Penta hit the Penta driver, unkicked out of to this point. Then he had an interview with Kathy Kelly after the match. And he gave Brussels a big shout out. The new Penta era is here and alive in every continent of the world. And he looks Kathy dead in the eye, looks at the camera, and says he wants that IC title. And he doesn't care who's going to have to go through it to get it. Because he has cero miedo.
Although he did say continental title.
He did say that.
So him and Jimmy are in the same boat.
Kinda, sorta. I do think... I'll give Penta this credit, because his English is not his first language, I'm gonna guess. So...
Yeah, Jimmy, what's your excuse?
Tag team for 18 years. That's his excuse. Oh, man. But then we got Judgment Day backstage. Finn comes in. He's all huggy. He's like, Dom, my best buddy. Thank you for getting me this match. Dom's been talking to people. He says he has a good idea. Ever since they lost JD, they should add a new member. And he thinks Penta is the right person to add in. Finn didn't like Dom going behind his back. And of all people, Penta, who literally just said that he was coming after the IC title, called Dom a snake and he walked away. And Carlito, who I just need to show up in random segments and say things, he says, you don't watch the show, do you? Him and R-Truth, I just want them to just appear like wraiths in the night behind people in segments and interject.
They were both in the Judgment Day at some point.
I don't know if I'd say Truth was ever technically in the Judgment Day. He thought he was.
Ivy versus Dakota is next. But before... no, excuse me.
I just said that.
Ivy versus Dakota would end after Chad and American Made would come down to the ring, only to be shortly followed and chased out by the LWO. And this promotion gets Ivy distracted, giving Dakota the advantage and knocking off her for the win.
We got the GTK, the Gota Kai. And I was doing this when I was like on the treadmill. They said the GTK, and I'm like, that's got to be a rip on GTS, obviously. But if you say Gota Kai, or you say the Gota Kai, it sounds like Dakota Kai if you say it fast.
Huh.
The Gota Kai. Kinda. You could call it Doug Gota Kai, but I don't know. You see what I mean, though? Does that make sense? Or am I stupid?
Yeah, I understand. No, I understand.
Yeah. Then we go EO coming out. Have you seen the video, like the compilation of EO, like jumping up and down for Dakota whenever she has a match?
No, I hadn't.
You
seen
haven't?
The compilation yet. No, not on social media yet.
Okay, I saw it on Twitter the other day, and it's literally just like EO like jumping up and down as Dakota walks away for her match. Like she's jumping up and down like a child. Like yeah. I love EO, man. She's so good at everything she tries to do. And it only figures, even as shocking as it was at the time, I was immediately on board with whatever Trips was doing with this Mania picture. Because whenever Io Sky has the title, good things happen. Good things happen to those who wait. And I waited. They put her in the tag division even. They had her wrestling in Saudi for the women's tag title and losing again. And she's back. She has the title. She goes down to the ring to sign her Mania contract. Bianca's in there. Signing goes to plan. And then, of course, Rhea's music hits. She's also looking for a get back after Io slapped her. She asks, why is Bianca not doing anything? And eventually it goes back to that discussion of why Bianca was out there for that match. Io goes in, wonders, tries to interject again. Bianca pushes her away again and says, no, we're not doing this again. And then she says she's not getting smacked again. And Rhea headbutts her, puts her on the table, then powerbombs Io into Bianca, and the table does not break. A lot of people said that was a botch. I don't think they know what botch means.
Yeah, that was not a botch.
It definitely hurts more when the table doesn't get broken. But then Rhea takes off with the contract and signs it. Just like, who the hell did that? Was it?
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. Shawn did that in the past. She ran off.
Also, Cena did that as well.
That's right, Cena did it. It was stupid then, and it's stupid now. But it's just so funny how she was like holding it up from Adam Pearce. She's like, no, you can't have it.
I guess Charlotte was right. She is still a kid.
I don't know what they're doing with her. She had that great promo that she cut after she lost the title, and they've just kind of gone the complete opposite direction from that. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure really what they have planned for Rhea after Mania.
I can't tell you. Because as much as I love her and as much as I think she possibly could walk out with the title, I don't think it's going to go to her.
She might need to switch brands after Mania or something to freshen things up.
Maybe, honestly. Oh, God. Are we going to get Charlotte and Rhea at SummerSlam again? Or at SummerSlam? But we're going to get them again? Oh, no.
Maybe you can think of something to incorporate Charlotte, Tiffy, and Rhea into a potential feud.
Oh, no.
Think of something.
I don't...
Maybe you set up Tiffy versus Rhea.
I don't wanna. I don't want...
You gotta think of something.
I don't want Charlotte to be in anything, man. She's gonna bury Tiffany at Mania. I don't need that in my life. Speaking of buryings, what the hell are they doing with Austin Theory?
Man.
It was like a 10-second match that ended with maybe the worst spear I've ever seen in my life. My God, Cole called it a crossbody. That's what it looked like. And Michael Cole, who does have a history of misnaming moves, he wasn't completely wrong. I don't know who was out of place for that. It might have been Theory, might have been Jay. Somebody messed that up. Because Jesus Christ, Edge had some bad spears in the past, but none of them were this bad.
Yeah, and you also had him going over the top rope.
Top dollar.
To the outside.
Top dollar. Oh, what was worse? Top Dollar's jump out of the ring or Jay's?
Top Dollar.
Yeah. Jay at least made it obvious. He was like, "Ooh, I messed up." Top Dollar got up, acted like he did something. Oh, Top Dollar, don't hate us. We're all in good fun. All in good fun. But then, of course, Gunther shows up, try to choke him out. After Grayson got a jump on Jay. But Jay took the title, stood tall in the ring, and threw it to Gunther, who was like, my baby. He caught it with the most horrified expression on his face. Like a mother catching her child from another story up. Oh, God.
Main event coming up later in the hour. That is the IC title match between Braun Breaker and Finn Balor. And before the start of the match, we get the hype package for it. And after that, we see Adam Pearce trying to get his contract back from Rhea, telling her that she can't add herself to the main event. And during that moment, both Io and Bianca jump Rhea, and also each other.
Cue the Hogan music. Why did she lay...
Actually, I have the soundboard. I'm not sure if I can play this.
Oh my god.
We'll try. Let me go ahead and try, dear viewers.
Oh my god.
And get our sound effects. Where did I put them? Here they are. And where is the music? Here it is. Here it is. There you go.
Oh my god. I don't think Rhea's doing this herself, but at a certain point, Triple H, we get it. She's strong. Stop having her take out everybody. It wasn't fun during the Live feud. It's not fun now. Let her be at least a little vulnerable. It's one thing to book someone as like insurmountable, like they do with Jacob, because from the start of Jacob's presentation, they booked him as this unstoppable monster. Rhea has lost. She just lost 2 weeks ago. She has lost in the past. I don't think she has like lost in a clean fashion in God knows how long. Like, I don't think she's been pinned without some kind of nonsense in at least 2 years. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous for anybody. I don't care how good you're presented.
Speaking of ridiculous, LWO versus American Made is now on the docket. LWO gets the win, and the masked luchador, who a lot of people are saying remains nameless, jumps both Ray and Dragon Lee after the match.
It's Mr. America. It's Mr. America. He's back.
It's Gable.
No.
Gang, 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 gang.
Oh my god. I do wonder what they're gonna do with this. What if Penta is like unmasks Gable?
It's Kalisto!
No, it's Sin Cara. It's the
Which one?
The first one.
The first
The
one?
first Sin Cara. He's back. Oh my god. I don't know what they're doing, but it's funny as shit. Yeah, then we get Seth's whoa. He addresses what happens next week. He says, I should go to Italy to square off with Punk and Roman. But he says, that's SmackDown. This is Raw. He wants the crowd to sing his song before he goes. And then he does to give us the main event.
Yeah, this segment was a little bit of a nothing burger. All he did was really just announce he's going to be on SmackDown.
This could have been an email, Seth.
Yeah, it really could have.
Could have been an email. Oh, and then we get maybe my least favorite direction of WrestleMania. AJ getting interviewed by Kathy Kelly. Says Logan doesn't belong on the roster. Cross is trying to get in AJ's head, and I love Cross. I hope they give him something. But he tells AJ, he's like, doesn't it eat you up inside to do the thing you wanted to do since you were a kid, and it took you 17 years? And I don't remember if that was this week, but he literally, like, AJ says, you trying to get in my head? And Cross is like, maybe. And then
I think at this week, AJ asked him, and I think he just straight up said yes.
Oh.
If I'm not mistaken.
Something like that.
Like he's tired of like trying to like gaslight him, and now he's just straight trying
right.
to mess with
He's
him.
being honest. He's like, yeah, I mean, why not?
He's just being a dick.
I love it. This is one of those things where it's like maximize your minutes. The old Dusty Rhodes saying, maximize your minutes, make it count.
Exactly.
Because if you don't, who knows what the hell's gonna happen.
Yes. Now we finally have the main event where Braun wins off of the Frankensteiner and the spear after Dom inadvertently cost Finn the match. Because when Braun was on the turnbuckle looking to suplex Finn, Carlito distracted the ref and Dom got Braun off of him, but at the same time, having Finn lose his balance on the turnbuckles.
Yeah, Judgment Day is done as we know it.
Yeah, and after the match, Penta comes out to scare away the Judgment Day beatdown on Braun, and he has a face-off with Braun Breaker.
Yeah, Penta has the belt in hand. He's like, hey, look at this. I got it, and you don't. But, yeah, Braun won the match. The show actually came up short of 2.5 hours.
Which is fine by me. The show qualities of the last couple Smackdowns has actually been quite good.
Well, this was Raw.
Oh, yeah, excuse me. Oopsies.
Oopsie doodle.
Oopsies.
But yeah, it was kind of surprising. I thought there was going to be more to it. And I think if they had that extra 10 minutes, they could have been fine with the Jay thing, with the match, going longer. But you know what?
I agree.
If there's one guy John Cena hates, it's Austin Theory. Just completely buried him in that lead up to that WrestleMania match.
Man, you wouldn't have even known that Theory even won that.
Right.
How his career went.
You'd have no clue. I saw people on Twitter talking about what happened to this Austin Theory. That's the same Austin Theory, just with Vince at his back. It's the same guy. They're just not giving him much to work with.
I'll tell you this. As much as I hate Vince McMahon, he did know how to build stars. And I feel like Theory is getting the worst of it, because imagine if WWE just gave up on Roman Reigns after his big Mania push.
You mean the 7 different Mania pushes that he got?
Yes, imagine if WWE just gave up on him.
That would be hilarious. I don't know if it would have been good for the company, but it would have been hilarious. I got into an argument on Twitter about this. I was like, they pushed him, like, to, what did he get, 4 or 5 Mania main events before he even...
It was a stupid
Even
amount.
before he became the Tribal Chief? Like, what the hell are we doing?
Because he had 31, he had 32, he had 33, he had 34.
He didn't main event one of those.
Well, he had big matches on each and every one of those cards. The fans absolutely hated him.
The Mania 33 main event. Okay, yeah, he did have 4 straight Mania main events. It was Roman versus Brock with Seth cashing in, Roman versus Triple H, Roman versus The Undertaker, Roman versus Brock. And then, thank God, we had another reprieve with Becky versus Charlotte versus Ronda. Becky becoming Becky 2 belts in that match.
And 35 is whenever they finally started to accept a Roman a little bit.
What did he even do at Mania 35?
He had that triple threat match between Daniel Bryan and Edge.
No.
Was that not that? Or was that the Pirate show?
That was Mania 36. 7.
Okay, sorry, excuse me. This is at the point in time I stopped watching wrestling.
Oh, Roman had a match with Drew?
Oh, really?
At Mania 35? Really? This was the year before COVID. What was the match card here? I know Seth had that quote-unquote unsanctioned match. Yeah, right. We had Kurt's last match with Baron Corbin. Oh, my God. Shane McMahon won the Crown Jewel WWE World Cup and won the tag titles with Shane, with Miz. Shane attacked Miz and his father, and then that was a match. Samoa Joe had a match here. Where the hell? Yeah, it was Roman versus Drew. Was this when Drew was still the chosen one? Or was this his second run?
This was his second run.
Yeah, that's right, because he came back next year and won the Rumble. Yeah, it was... this was the 7-hour Mania. That's why they're so forgettable. This is the year before they went to the 2-night format. And then after that he had... what is this? This thing actually... This page is so old it only goes to 35. 36 main event was Drew and Brock. 37 was Roman, Daniel, and Edge. 38 was... the other main event of 37 was Sasha and Bianca? I think so. Let's see. Oh, I gotta scroll. Way down to get to this. Yes, night 1 of Mania 37 was Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. Then it was Roman versus Edge versus Daniel. Mania 38 was Stone Cold and Kevin Owens on night 1. And then 38 night 2 was Roman and Brock. Who wanted this? Who asked for this, honestly? Oh my god. Mania 39 was the Usos versus Kevin and Sami, and then Roman versus Cody. And then 40 was Cody, Seth versus Rock Roman, and then Roman versus Cody. With that being said, Brennan, are you still alive?
Yes. we might edit this out. I'm not sure. Depends how much work I want to do.
I mean, I think we just crossed the hour threshold, so we should be fine.
We did.
Yeah, we should be fine. And I got an hour and 1.
Same here.
Yeah. Then we go to NXT at the Performance Center. Oh, baby. We're coming off a roadblock at MSG, and some shit was happening in this episode. We got a recap of last week. Stephanie becoming the first ever double women's champion in NXT history, along with everyone going into the show with Steph, Eddie, Trick, Ricky, live from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Oh, yes. And to start the night, we got us a pretty damn good match. Chelsea Green.
Chelsea versus Sol Ruka to start the show.
Crazy. Crazy that can start the show.
I know, and I know a lot of people were saying that Sol should have won this match. Man, this was good. This was a good match, even after the finish.
Yeah, she had Alba and Piper in tow as her Secret Hervis, and I still think Secret Hervis was right there, but I'm not in creative for a reason, so leave me to my ramblings. They cut to some kids in the crowd pledging allegiance and saluting, as they should, obviously, to our president, Miss Green. I'd vote for her over whoever the hell's in office these days.
Yeah, we don't pay attention to politics. We live under 2 rocks.
I wish I lived under a rock. I wish I had the bliss of ignorance.
But yeah, it seems like me and you both love the Secret Harvest gift.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people who want Chelsea to drop the title don't acknowledge that the Secret Harvest kind of only works if she's United States champ. Although I'm sure they're going to find a way to make it work after. I do think it works best when she's, U.S. champion as the president. Mike Rome said Sol was from Honolulu, and that's, she's a surfer girl from Hawaii, of course. But she's actually from Canada. I don't remember specifically where in Canada she's from. Ontario. That's all it says. Ontario, Canada.
Well, Ontario's a province in Canada. I'm sure it's some city in Ontario. Maybe Toronto. Who knows?
Possibly. I don't know. But this match was a damn good match. Shout was chanting USA throughout the match. And it's so funny because it's 2 Canadians, an Australian, and 2 Scottish women out there. Did
you see Chelsea's hair?
What?
During the match?
What about it?
During a moment where Sol is like adjusting into like a headlock, like part of Chelsea's hair falls out and the ref grabs it and throws it out of the match.
Oh my gosh. Must have been an extension.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Hair extensions are nothing to play with, kids. They're a lot. I can only imagine someone who has to regularly get extensions in their hair, having to deal with all that. I think I'd go crazy.
Same here.
I'd actually lose my marbles if I had to deal with that. it would drive me up a wall. Oh, crap. What are we doing here? What am I doing here? That's the real question.
What are we all doing here?
What are we doing?
Why do we exist?
What on earth?
Just to suffer?
Who knows, Brendan? Who really knows?
Welcome to the existential portion of the No Stipulations podcast.
What the hell have I let myself do here? What are we doing? What am I doing? What's anyone doing at this point in their lives? That's the real question.
I think all of us can agree that we vote for Chelsea a billion times. The crowd goes crazy. They chant USA throughout the whole match, and Alba put Chelsea's foot on the rope to save it. Save the match.
She got smoked.
She did.
Zarya honestly might have the best spear in the game right now. She is.
It's like a Pokemon evolution with her, Jordan Grace, and Rhea Ripley.
Kinda. I don't know. Soul is so crazy athletic, honestly. She's 5'9". She's doing all like this gymnast stuff that these women are usually like 4'11" or like 5'2". She's 5'9", Brendan. She's as tall as you.
Dang.
And after some interference, Chelsea actually interrupted the Soul Snatcher by Soul, who had been working the knee the whole match. She got the Soul Snatcher interrupted. Chelsea knocked her over, retains off the unpretty her, and still, your Women's United States Champion. Oh, say can you green? I'm not singing the whole song, but you get the picture.
Yes. Javon Evans is backstage, and Evans gets what Trick's been saying after that group jumped him. Trick says there's no we. He's getting back to Oba, and he's getting his title back.
Tells Javon.
You ain't champ.
Yeah.
You ain't never going to be champ.
Javon did not like that. Lexis King showed up, showed off the Heritage Cup, talked shit, got hit right in the mouth.
Yes. The family segment now. Tony says that they're ready to take on what is it called? The
culling.
Yes. Stax says he should stay backstage so he can stay healthy for his rematch, so Sean doesn't do anything with his usual chicken shit heel business.
Yeah, there was a moment of tension where it felt like Tony's going to snap at his underboss, but he was like, that's real thinking right there. Attaboy. And he said, get out there. Go win. They did not. But then, our reigning Women's North American Champion and our new NXT Women's Champion, Stephanie Vaquer, the Angel of Darkness, La Primera. She says she needs to be honest. It's difficult for her because English isn't her first language, but wrestling is her first language. Oh, I'm so glad NXT doesn't do the what chants. That would have ruined this promo.
It's hella disrespectful, especially for someone who's foreign.
Right, and that pissed, like, I expressed some anger on this, but that pisses me off. There's this person coming to your country, trying to learn your language to entertain you, and you ungrateful dickwads say what? Every time they say something with an even remote accent? Shut the hell up. Get out of your mom's basement. Go to hell.
Northeastern WWE US crowds, nutshell.
Oh, Boston.
Philly. New York.
Yeah. But she says she had the opportunity to go to any promotion, any brand, and that was pretty televised. She said she chose NXT to make history in the best women's division on the planet. And I think it was pretty publicized that she chose NXT to like work on getting the pace of WWE and the language. And I think she's already killing it.
Yeah, I agree. She's killing it.
Yeah, she says she's the best of the best, la primera, la mejor de la mejor, waiting for her first opponent. And then Jordan Grace's music hits. Did you notice she was dressed like Patrick with the tights?
Yes, I saw that.
Lead. Dude, she got those like platform boots, and joked with like Lash Legend about it. And she's like, "This is what I need when I go on a backstage segment with you." But Jordan says she's not the only. Steph isn't the only one who accomplished something. She beat Roxanne, who elevated the title, one of the titles that Steph is holding. And then Jada Parker comes in, blindsides Jordan, and she's taking her shot like Mickey said. She's not waiting until Stand and Deliver to make her point. She's taking her own shot and making her challenge right there.
Yes, we are backstage, and Hank and Tank are going to take it to the extreme. And they are probably the best kind of cracked out country boys.
You know, they used to just do O-line drills for the hell of it growing up.
Oklahoma drill.
They'd line up, stand across from each other, and just run until one of them passed out.
Did y'all call it Oklahoma drill or Big Cat?
I think they're different drills.
They're different drills?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Big Cat is just the one-on-one. Oklahoma drill is the lineman and the linebacker and the running back.
I gotcha.
I think.
We could be wrong, but
yeah, no.
Take it with a grain of
Big
salt.
Cat, I'm looking at these pictures of LSU doing it. It's just the one-on-one in the circle, like the lineman or linebacker with a tight end, and they just try to push each other. Oklahoma drill is the offensive skill and the line, as well as on defense. And that's your football lesson of the day from the No Stips crew.
Yes.
Don't worry, we're educational. Tell your parents. Put us on for your babies. We promise we won't corrupt them.
I'll check the Made for Kids on the next YouTube upload.
We're just streaming on YouTube Kids. We have these kids saying, yeah, every 5 minutes. While their parents go insane. But then we get Hank and Tank versus Briggs and Inamura, which is the extreme match. And B&I start with the cheap shots, taking it to Team Ank. I think that's clever, personally. Briggs was controlling things with his size, but Hank and Tank got that brother thing going on. Hank actually, I can't remember which one's which, if I'm being completely honest with you. One of them goes to, stop the other one from getting whipped into the corner by, putting their body in the way, so they'll just bounce off and go and get Briggs. But I think they're climbing the ranks of big guy wrestlers. They're so good and agile for their size. But Briggs and Imura stole it by being dirty. Hank and Tank think they went too extreme. Goodness.
We're now in the locker room, and we see Eddie Thorpe and Ridge Holland. Everyone is turning to walk away from Eddie, except for Ridge. He says he and Ridge have a lot in common. Ridge agrees, and having the new shiny toy and Ricky Starks.
Excuse me, that's supposed to say hating the new shiny new toy.
Oh, yes. Excuse me. I read whatever's on the prompter. Excuse me.
Prompter. He's so fancy, isn't he, guys?
Yeah.
He thinks he's better than me.
Eddie says Ricky is a sports entertainer just like Trick, and that both of them should take business tonight to rid NXT of these sports entertainers.
Well, we got some entertainment here. We got the family versus the culling, and I put this down. I said, I love the family's gear. They always got the pinstripe or some suit look going on. You notice that?
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Another thing I said, why do they have pockets? Why they have I don't think they're actually functioning pockets, but they have pocket stitches on the back. Jimmy has that too. What do you put in there? Is that where you hide your blade?
Gum? I don't know.
Is that where you hide the blades? In your back pocket?
That would be really funny.
But the culling makes their entrance. Family doesn't even let them start. I think Rizzo and Izzy are both underrated women in the division. Every woman in this division is very, very good. To the extent where they could be used. I think this is Nico Vance's first match. I could be wrong. No, I definitely am wrong. He had a tag match with Brooks Jensen at some point. But, as always in one of these tag matches, chaos spilled to the outside. Referee count means nothing. And I was pointing this out to myself when Rizzo and Izzy Dame were in the ring together. I said, am I dramatic for wincing every time they pull hair? As someone with long hair, even when you're not trying to hurt someone, that shit hurts. That shit hurts, Brendan.
I don't doubt it.
You, Mr. Short Hair over there. You wouldn't know.
I've always had short hair.
You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know the pain and suffering we go through just to have long hair. I don't know what I'm doing. No wonder we don't get views. This is ridiculous.
Nah, don't worry. We just need a video to.
Oh God. I noticed this. Both groups have the same archetypes. They both have the leader. They both have the loudmouth number 2 guy, the silent strong guy, and the woman. On that topic of like the strong silent guy, they need to let Luca Crucifino hoop more because he's good. He's good. Everyone in this match is good. I feel like I just can't hate people as wrestlers. Most of them are good. They're good enough to get here, in some facet. I love Rizzo too. She's great. I love it when she just she took off her earrings to start the match, like your friend who wants to fight a bear.
Yeah, hold my hoops.
Yeah, hold my hoops. I love it. But this group of 4, they jumped Tony backstage with that quadruple power bomb. Family sees it on the video board, lost as a result, and the Culling gets their first win as a group.
Yes, Ava is backstage, and she confirms with Steph that we will get Steph versus Jada next week for the NXT Women's title, and then Fallon Henry comes back.
Fallon Henry?
Henley? Henley, excuse me.
Fallon Henry.
That's her shitty cousin.
That's her Santina. She puts her hair back and puts on a mustache. Fallon Henry.
She just Mulans her way into the men's division.
Oh God.
But she comes back and she talks about her rematch, and Steph says she's going to give it to her, and it will also be next
Steph's
week.
pulling double duty.
Yes, Steph will fight her after her match with Jada Parker next week.
I can't wait to see what they do with this. It really makes me wonder what they're going to do with Stephanie, because they could have her retain both. I think they very will have her retain both. But it's going to be really interesting, because imagine she pulls double duty and stand and deliver like this.
I could see it.
Kind of almost erases my worries about both titles being on one woman if she's going to pull double duty. But Stephanie, please, don't hurt yourself. Please, be smart. We love watching you. I can't wait to see you win main roster gold. Please be safe. Be good with your own health. It matters. Oh my God.
We have Carmen versus JC Jane next. This match is happening because Fatal Influence jumped Carmen a month ago and also hit Ashanti with a chair. JC Jane is another member of the women's division that is crazy good and could be at the top with a little more.
Yeah, I mean,
wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, every woman in this division, if used properly, could be number 1. I really don't think that's... Maybe it's bias. I don't think it's too much of a stretch. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, Ashanti had a steel chair, and he wants his get back for what they did to him last time. Carmen rejected the chair and starts throwing hands properly, and rolling encore, JC's discus punch. Damn good finisher. She hits it for the win.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was initially expecting her to go like the yeah. Like, I know Brody Lee.
Tongaloa?
No. Brody Lee. He was Brody Lee when he was in AEW. He was Luke Harper. That's the one.
I know what you're talking about.
Because he had the discus clothesline as his finisher. But the rock star, JC Jane, got her win here. And then we go backstage. Hank and Tank wonder, like, out loud, like, do we go too extreme? They don't know what to do anymore. They think maybe they should talk to teams that are on their level, on the level that they want to be. Wes and his guys show up and start ripping into Hank and Tank with fat jokes and... Ugh. Very funny. I don't know. Jada cuts a promo. Says she's done. She done told us she's done waiting. Nobody gets in her way. She wants to walk into Stand and Deliver as Women's NXT Champion. Clock it. And
she's a really good promo.
She is. That's one thing I think a lot of NXT women have is promos. And next up, take it away, Brendan.
Ooh, let's go. Ricky versus Ridge. Ricky starts the match by striking a pose early.
Oh, yeah.
Ridge overpowers Ricky at the start of the match, dumped Ricky over the top rope, and hit his back on the apron. And Ricky did a really good job selling this match. Ridge was beating on Ricky on the top rope, but Ricky was feeding off the crowd, chanting "Absolute," and he fought back. He had a tornado DDT, and then the Rochambeau for the W.
Ricky's first NXT singles win.
Love to see it.
Yes, indeed. I did like, because I don't think it's either guy's fault, but Ricky didn't get Ridge all the way out for the Rochambeau. And I liked what Vic Joseph did on commentary. He's like, didn't get all of it. His back's got to be affecting him. That was clever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a bad commentary team in WWE right now.
There isn't. And the Observer, although they shat on Booker T in the Wrestling Observer Awards, Booker T's a good announcer.
Booker T's fun. They hate fun.
Exactly.
I don't know what they want to do. But after that, we finally got an interview with the Rogue guys. It was, what the hell are the names? It's Dion Lennox, Saquon Sugars, something Cutler. And hang on. What are their names? Dark State, Saquon Sugars. I feel so bad that I don't know their names. Cutler James and Osiris Griffin. Osiris Griffin, by the way, former Saints training camp player Joshua Black. And Dion Lennox says, he hears that they need to earn it, but that's bullshit. They saw the Cutler says they saw the landscape, they're game changers, and they're making it simple. Saquon Sugar says, when Dark State strikes, no one is safe. They go back into the PC to jump someone else. Dark State.
I thought it was funny because that last dude that was talking, he's like, did we really make a statement? And then go back inside.
It's like, did we really let him know? Nah, let's go beat someone else up. That was Sugars. Saquon Sugars.
I think he's got something really special. I'm calling.
Yeah, you would not be the first. A lot of people on the IWC are complaining that he's in this group because they don't want it to stunt his singles growth. But
oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm way more chronically online than you are. Don't worry.
No, this is a Shield type faction that is going to elevate all four of these guys.
Yeah, definitely. And their name, Dark State. What do we think?
I like it. I think it's a pretty cool name. I mean, it's a very generic sounding name, but if they could get the copyright for something like this, then I think you can push tons of merch.
Better than going with Sword.
Yeah, it's
or PFC.
It's better than PFC.
That's not hard to do.
Can I take this Ricky backstage?
Oh, Brennan, I'll let you take everything, Ricky, buddy.
Yes. All right, first line. I hate to address your notes. Who am I addressing here?
That was I don't know.
Oh, this is
No, this
Ricky is backstage being interviewed by what's her face?
Oh. I was just talking about her. I swear.
She's the redhead.
NXT interviewers. Mackenzie Mitchell? Or is it Kathy Kelly? No. Not Kathy. She's on the main roster.
But overall, Ricky is being interviewed and the culling interrupt Ricky.
Kelly Kincaid?
Yes, Kelly Kincaid. There you go.
One of those Kelly people. There's so many of them.
Yes. The culling interrupts Ricky and says the revolution is happening and it's happening right in front of his eyes, Ricky's eyes. Izzy says that he has the confidence of a much larger man, but he doesn't measure up. Ricky says that he always measures up in the right places, blows her a kiss goodbye,
the crowd,
and Sean scoffs at
the crowd popped so hard when he said that.
I heard it. It
felt so fake, honestly. But
What, from Ricky?
No, I mean, when the crowd exploded like that, it felt like pumped-in crowd noise. I'm not going to say it was, but it just felt so suddenly loud.
I don't know. The Performance Center can get loud at times.
Yeah.
But at select segments, they do get loud.
I feel like it's going to be Ricky versus Shawn.
Yes, and hopefully Ricky can win the North American title.
Oh, this is going to be your happiest day alive, Brendan.
Fingers crossed. I'm going to have a crawfish boil for whenever he wins it.
We should invite him onto the show. Tell you can try not to...
Would he do that?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
You can try not to freak him out with how much you love him.
He's probably too big for us.
You never know.
Never know.
You're not going to get to Mars if you don't shoot for the moon.
Ooh, I like
Bar. Then we get our main event, NXT Underground. Now, this was your first Underground match. What do you think?
I liked it. It was a unique match. It kind of had the UFC vibe going on.
Yeah, like I put in the notes, it said it's basically UFC on an open mat. No ropes, no counts, no DQs. Only KO or submission to win. And Eddie... Yeah.
I had also heard that they had evolved people on the ring apron.
Yeah, I think that's like PC talent. Evolve, LFG, all those guys. Fun fact, by the way, that I read on Twitter, which I don't know if it's a fact or not. Cutler James, one of the members of the Dark State, is actually still like in LFG. Like they're airing his stuff. So a lot of people were like, that white dude in the Dark State kind of throws the whole group off. And everybody in the comments was like, he's fresh out of the PC. Give him a minute. And I feel like that's the thing with NXT talent. People need to give them a minute. They just got here.
Real.
Like, I remember people were trashing on Jada Parker's promo or Roxanne's promo. What are we doing here? This is developmental. They're learning.
This is like a baby being born and then telling him the next week he better be a doctor.
Right. No, that's exactly what this is. These are like mid-20 people. These are people our age. This is... You shouldn't be expecting them to be the best in the world at something unless someone like Stephanie or Julia comes in from like a decade plus of wrestling already and is already great. Yeah. Someone like Roxanne, who, by the way, should be going to the main roster probably after the draft or during the draft. I remember so many people were calling her a garbage promo. No, first of all. Second of all, shut the hell up. Third of all, grow a pair and learn that you suck too at most things. Let that settle for a moment. Anyway, this match was just going quick. These underground matches always go so fast. Eddie put Trick through the announce desk with that sidewalk slam, and honestly, Eddie's growing on me. I don't know what it is, but I get not so much excited, but I'm like, okay, here comes Eddie. Let's see what happens. It's not like some people that I see in these matches, and it's like, oh, this guy. Logan Paul. What? Who said that? But as soon as I texted someone, I'm like, Eddie's kind of growing on me. Trick threw him into the crowd, and he threw him around the ring, and he nailed a trick shot, just hammer fisting down onto him. He got the TKO for the win. He picks up a mic, says, Eddie, you better learn how to squabble. And he calls Oba out. And he says, bring my title. And Oba takes his shirts off as Trick puts down the dreads. And then out, the lights go dark. Out comes the Dark State, standing in the crowd. But before they can make a move, Javon appears in the dark and just starts throwing himself at Oba and Trick. He's crashing out. And he hits Oba with a cutter. Just drops him. And the show goes off air with Trick and Javon staring down each other. Woo.
So you think this is going to lead into like a triple threat match at Stand and Deliver?
I hope so. We saw what happened the last time there was a triple threat at Stand and Deliver. Excellent match.
Which match was that?
That was Briggs versus Oba versus Dijak for the North American title. Voted match of the year in NXT, I believe.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, wrestling, WWE, getting better by the week. It's the road to WrestleMania. I don't know what I was expecting. It's getting better every week. But that was NXT. And now, dear listeners, if you are still here after this hour and a half of recording, I'm going to talk about some of the notes I saw. I saw someone tweet that Julia should be the first Paul Heyman girl. And next to that, in all caps, I have, fuck yes, please. What do you think?
I love that idea. I love it.
I think Julia is good enough to cut a promo, but it doesn't matter who you are. Paul Heyman's going to help you out. I mean, even Roman Reigns, who was maybe the worst promo in the main event scene before he became the tribal chief, gets Paul Heyman, and now he can cut a promo. I hear he's been working backstage with guys like Braun Breaker to improve their promo, and it's showing. It's really showing. Because he's... Paul Heyman, they could never make me hate you.
Yeah. There's a reason why ECW was so successful, because it was being manned by Paul Heyman. He's a sponge to anybody.
Yeah. He'll make
in the business.
He'll make you better. And then this talking point, we were kind of dancing around politics here. Maybe I'm too woke, but this Tony Hinchcliffe thing, this roast, needs to be canceled expeditiously.
Not only the fact that it will likely end up being a PR firestorm for WWE, but I'll let you take away with some of the more political aspects of this.
Look, back in Puerto Rico with Backlash, maybe the best crowd of any PLE in the Triple H era, you bring in this guy who called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. This is like TKO and WWE showing their true colors, if nothing else. This showing what they support, who they back, what they think matters. Tony Hinchcliffe, not only is he not funny, he's a douchebag. That's a horrible combination. At least some comedians are terrible people and funny.
Yeah, I'll tell you a dude that's funny and has been promoted on WWE shows forever, and that's Fluffy. You could have done him.
Right, Fluffy would have been great. And Fluffy, not only is he not a political shitstorm, he's funny.
Exactly.
He loves the product. The product, I think, loves him back. It's not a guy...
I think if he did something like that with Fluffy, it wouldn't turn into a PR firestorm either.
Right. I don't...
He clearly understands the business as well.
Right. And I don't want to get too political about this. That's not what we're here for. But, God, this is a horrible decision from, like, every angle. I don't know who brought this up. I don't know who agreed this is a good idea.
I think it's because of the UFC connections. TKO.
They really shouldn't have. It's a bad move. Thankfully, it's not going to be televised. I read that somewhere.
Yes, I heard that it's not going to be televised. And WWE could be just like, this is lost media now.
Yeah, they're lucky that it's not being televised. Because I just know this jackwad is going to say something about Eddie Guerrero. Or Chris Benoit. Or something sensitive. Or say a slur or something. And it's just going to, like you said, a PR shitstorm.
Yeah. WWE's got enough on their plate with the Vince McMahon scandal. I don't think they need to add anything else onto that oversized plate.
It's such an ugly decision. And I really wish they would just do away with this already. It's not a good move from, like, any view. This is a bad idea. It's...
Yeah.
In Vegas, too. Like, drunk. Everyone's drunk. You think he's not going to slip up and say something horrible?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man. But, politics aside, if you're still here, thank you for being here. We just want to say thank you for listening. We want to thank you for sticking around with us while we still try to figure out all our little intricate ins and outs of learning to do what we love to do, and that is communicate, because that's what we both graduated with degrees in. For Brendan, I'm Logan. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.